So let's today's web is phones. So why phones and why now? Your phone system on a device of your choice, such as a traditional phone, a PC or laptop, or a smartphone or tablet device, meaning you never need to miss an important phone call again. So what is Pro Networks offering? Pro Networks has partnered with NFON to provide their Cloudya Voice over IP solution. I will shortly pass over to Kevin and Steve from NFON to tell you more about who NFON are and demonstrate the NFON Cloudya phone system. Without further ado, I'll let Kevin, Head of Channel Sales for NFON UK, take centre stage. Over to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, so thank you very for the handover, Ben. Joining me today is Steve Button. Steve is one of our pre-sale specialists here at NFON. So between us, we'll do the presentation today. I'll do the initial introduction into NFON, and Steve will do the he'll do the nice easy bit of the demonstration of the Cloudya product. So firstly, I just wanted to provide a quick overview on some of the drivers in our world of cloud telephony. So as it says there, the world has changed, and I think we can all agree the pandemic changed the way we live, the way we work forever. For some businesses, it may have accelerated plans to adopt cloud telephony or forced other businesses to make changes due to the constraints of their existing infrastructure. A lot of businesses had to adopt a work from home strategy during the pandemic, and now most employees consider flexible working to be the norm, and businesses adopt new technologies to manage the flexible and hybrid working environment. And it's fair to say the traditional legacy PBX, as we like to refer to it as, the technology has had its day. It's often complex, outdated, and in some cases becoming end of life. And if we look at ISDN services, these services are being ceased in 2025. So here at NFON, we are not just seeing migration from traditional PBX platforms, we're also seeing what we call second generation users. And these are businesses who have already adopted a cloud solution, and they now need to move to a more reliable or stable platform, or looking for additional features to support their growing needs. Also, the ability to link into different applications is also key, whether it's to improve productivity or to reduce costs, offering industry standard APIs to link to different applications or adoption of AI technologies, for example. In summary, the world has changed, and in technology terms, there will always be changes, and it's important to select the right supplier. Therefore, the way we see it, there is no turning back. So come and join us on our journey. So NFON as an organization. So NFON Group was founded in Munich in 2007, and we have developed rapidly over the years. Today, NFON is a true pan-European provider of cloud telephony, and we are active in 17 different European countries. For the UK, we entered the market in 2013, opening our UK headquarters in Uxbridge, West London, and later followed by our northern office in Manchester. Both offices support all our UK operations, including support, procurement, sales and marketing activities. However, one thing you need to know about NFON, we don't sell direct. So everything that we do, we work with partnership with strategic partners such as Pro Networks. So as a strategic partners, this requires Pro Networks to undertake extensive accreditation on the NFON portfolio, and therefore offering high levels of support and services on NFON, as well as offering complementary products and services of their own. The core to our solution is called Cloudya, and Cloudya is our own product. It's not a third-party application. Therefore, it makes us, and this is really important, this makes us more agile to develop the platform with our own in-house R&D development team, and we are constantly researching trends in the market to provide innovative updates and features to the platform. Our product Cloudya is designed to be fully scalable, supported across 3 Tier 4 geographic data centers, which are fully redundant, secure, including ISO accreditation, supporting security and GDPR policies. So currently on the platform, we have over 680,000 users, and I like to say that 680,000 users every day rely on NFON for their communication needs. And on an average day, we manage over 4.5 million telephone calls. So looking at the NFON portfolio, Business Communication Cloudya is the core to our platform, and this supports feature-rich telephony, fully scalable to flex when required, and we offer several value-added services to support users requiring features such as collaboration or enhancing customer experience. While it's not our intention today to go through the whole product portfolio, my colleague Steve will provide an in-depth overview of Cloudya, but I just want to take the opportunity to highlight some of these additional services. So under integrations, we support options for collaboration. This can include multiple CRM applications to increase user productivity. And Steve will touch on this when he goes through his demonstration with a product called CRM Connect Plus. Under customer experience, we have services that provide analytics around call volumes, on user activities, through to full OEM channel services. This not only supports voice interactions from your customers, but email, SMS, web chat, social media, for example, such as WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram, all designed to improve customer experience and manage these interactions through a single interface. Finally, under enablement, our Citron offering, this service can support legacy PBX, and they're key where a customer may not be able to migrate all traditional PBX services onto the NFON platform. As I mentioned, the additional service is not something we'll go into any detail on this demonstration today, but if you wish to know more around these other value-added services, by all means, please reach out to Ben at Pro Networks. So what I'll do now is hand over to Steve, who'll provide an in-depth overview into Cloudya. Steve.
Thank you, Kevin. Right, what I'm going to do, I will just share my screen. Now, what I want you to do is, as Kevin said, the Cloudya is the platform that we call our telephone system, our PBX. So just to give you a little bit of a brief insight into that, this is our administration portal where we can configure the system. So it is a full, as Kevin said, feature-rich telephone system. So as you can sort of see from here, from this administration portal, we can do things like have time of day routing, so that between, I've got it set up from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, we can have it so it's set up so it goes to an auto attendant. Outside that period, it goes to a voicemail. And we can also put exception days in there as well. And we can make this as granular as you want. So if you had a different working pattern on a Saturday or maybe a Wednesday, we can create that as well. So we can set up the system to work to your time pattern. You don't have to have this set up, but it's there and it's available if you do. We've also, as I mentioned, got the auto attendant where you can have it so that a call will come into the system and people will be given the option to press 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever options you want, and that will be routed accordingly with the programming the system here. So again, auto attendant is something that is an option that's available on the system. And then we've also got things like our groups or queues, as we call it, where you can have a number of people in a queue. They can be accessed directly on a trunk or via the auto attendant. And then the calls will come into these people. We can decide here how it's going to ring those individuals, whether it rings everybody simultaneously in a round robin fashion or even on a least used fashion. We can decide that, and we can put other things on there as well, like the position announcement interval, where when someone's queuing up waiting to be answered, it will tell them if they're first in the queue, second in the queue, third in the queue. We can put things on here like periodic announcements, which could be an announcement to say your call is important to us, please continue to hold. So all these features come as standard on the Cloudya telephone system. Okay, so that's just a sort of like a snapshot of what we've got available on the system. There is a lot more, as you can sort of see down here, that's available, but I just wanted to give you an impression of what it's like as far as a telephone system is concerned. So it is a full-blown telephone system. Now, the thing about it is there's a number of ways you can access the system. So you can access the system with a traditional telephone, so a piece of plastic that sits on the desk, and we're relatively agnostic to the type of telephone that that you can use as well. We have a number of different certified manufacturers that we work with, so you're not sort of hard and fast specified on one particular manufacturer of device. But another way that you can access the system is you can access it as a soft phone, which you can sort of see in front of you here. And so this soft phone has been downloaded onto my PC. We have also got the software to be able to download onto a Macintosh as well. So if you've got a Mac, then that's fine as well. So you can download this, and the advantage of downloading it onto your PC or Mac is the fact that it will then sort of like sit in your start menu. So as soon as you start your PC, your telephone is there waiting for you. And it means that you take your telephone wherever you go. If you've got a laptop, you literally could be working from home. You could be working maybe on the services of the motorway. You could be working in the office. You just power up your laptop, and that will become your device that you can use to communicate with. Okay. The other way that you can access the system is, this is a web browser here. So I happen to be using Chrome. But if I go to the URL that's specified at the top there, I can type in my username and password, and that will become my telephone device. So again, you've got the flexibility here to be able to basically use whichever device is most appropriate for you in the location that you happen to be. The last way we can access the system is there is an app that you can put onto your mobile phone, and that can go onto Android as well as iOS. And so you can have an app on your mobile to be able to make and receive calls. The thing to remember, though, is that wherever and whatever you're using, be it a physical desk phone, downloaded client, the web RTC client, or your mobile phone, your details are exactly the same. So you will have the same extension number, you will have the same DDI number or landline number coming in, and you'll be using those same numbers when you dial out as well. So the advantage is that if you're using a mobile, you never release your personal private mobile details. You always dial as if you was dialing from the system, regardless of the device you're using. So that's some of the options that you've got there to access the system. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the downloaded soft phone I've got here, because all the features that are available on the downloaded client are the same regardless of the device you're using. If you're using a standard telephone device like a desk phone, then you may have to use a feature code or something to access some of these features. But in essence, all the features are available regardless of the device you're using. So just to take you through the soft phone that we've got here, as you can sort of see up here in the left-hand corner, you've got my name and extension number. We've got a search bar here is the next thing that you can see. Now that search bar, what you can do is that it's possible to have contacts or a general phone book where you can put in numbers. So that can be loaded up, and that can be made available to everybody. Okay, so what it means is you will have the ability to dial by name. So if I start to dial a name, you'll see that it comes up with the stored name and number that's stored into the system there, because I've got that access to that system. Okay, and that's centrally stored. What you may notice as well, though, that as I start to dial here, I've also got the ability to look at my Google contacts. If you've got Google contacts set up, my Microsoft Outlook contacts. So that's doing a search through my Microsoft Outlook contacts, because I've got this linked into there. So by doing a search in the search bar here, I've got the ability to go through the system contacts, Google contacts, Microsoft Outlook contacts, if indeed I've set that up. With one of the value-added features that we can put onto the system, as Kevin mentioned before, called CRM Connect Plus, we can also link into other CRMs. Now, I've just got as an example here, HubSpot, Salesforce, and Zoho, but we've got over 300 CRMs that we can link the system into. So what I'm doing here is I just happen to make a search here by typing in Gene. In the search bar, I click on HubSpot. It will show me all the relevant contacts that are within HubSpot that will fit the profile that I've typed in up there. So you've got that ability to search from within the soft phone through your CRM. Okay, so that's what you've got there. So you've got search by name. In that search bar at the top there, you could equally type in a telephone number and be able to dial out a telephone number from there. So you have got that option. So that's the search bar at the top. The other thing we've got to make outgoing calls, if I just minimize that for 1 second, is if I go to my my browser here, open up a page, I could, for instance, type in, let's say I want to do a search for a company, I'll type in NFON here. I can click on the link. There you go. There's the page that comes up for NFON. If I scroll across, NFON's got a telephone number here. All I have to do is just click on that number there, and it actually makes the call for me within my soft phone. Okay, so you've got the ability to what we call click to dial from within a browser. And again, that comes as standard with the system. So you can just click on a number. It means that you've got basically the whole of the internet to use as a phone directory to be able to find telephone numbers, and you can then just literally click on that phone number and it will make the call for you within your soft phone. Okay, so that's a number of ways that you can make outgoing calls using the search bar and using click to dial. Up here as well, we've also got the ability to change our profile. So if I wanted to put myself into a meeting, I can just click on the little meeting there, and it now puts me into a meeting profile. What does that actually do? Well, if I go down to the settings here, you'll see that if I look at call forwarding, you can see here that I've been put into a meeting. And if I look across to the right here, it shows me that when I'm going to a meeting, it goes to Daniel Schiffer's voicemail. Now I can change that to go to my voicemail. I can change it to go to busy, or I can actually choose another phone number. So maybe I want it to go to Rob Bacon, for example. So if I select that, you'll find that's now going to Rob Bacon. Okay, so you have got the full ability there to also put in your own personal numbers as well. So if you wanted to divert the call to your mobile, you could actually type the mobile number in there as well. So this is something that I've sort of set up for when I'm in a meeting, that all my calls go through to that particular person. Now I've got here one for lunch, one for when I'm on holiday, so I can set things up there. But I can actually set these up myself just by clicking on the plus there. So maybe when I go home, I want to have a profile for going home, so I can press create here, go to home, and let's say for the sake of argument, when I go home, I want all my calls to go through to voicemail. Well, that's what I can set by just turning the toggle on there. To activate it, all I need to do is go to the backward arrow, click on the home, and that has now activated this profile home, which means that all my calls are now going to voicemail. Okay, if I want to put myself back to my default value, as you can sort of see here, then that's something I can do quite easily by using that backward arrow. And that backward arrow is available on all the soft phones, including the mobile app, or if you wanted to activate it on a standard telephone, you've got the feature codes there that you would dial to activate those particular profiles. Okay, so that's what we've got up here. That little backward arrow, that's what that does. So when I'm looking down the left-hand side here, you'll see that this actually tells me what mode I'm in. Okay, so in general, I'm in phone mode here, as you can see. So these are my function keys that are shown in front of me. Now the function keys here, where they're showing green, it means that that person is idle and ready to take a call. If it was red, I know they'd be on a call. And if it was flashing, I know that their phone is actually ringing. So again, it wouldn't be worth trying to transfer a call through to someone whose phone's already ringing. So you have got what we call BLF, busy lamp feature here on these keys. So that is available. You can also program these feature keys up to do feature codes, or maybe dial your favorite company as a speed dial. So you've got a variety of things that you can do with these feature or function keys. If I go into the edit, you can see here, this is where we can click on the plus to add a new key in. We can actually edit an existing key. So you have got the full ability to make those keys individual and just to show exactly what you want to see. Okay. Now, not only are these BLF keys, these are also keys that you can use to actually dial that particular internal individual as well. So just by double clicking on a particular key, you can dial that person. Okay, so they do double up as that functionality. If I just click on the little line there, you'll see that opens up a keypad. So that keypad can be used. I mean, if you dial through to a company where they have an auto attendant and they ask you to press 1 or press 2 or press 3 to route through to the appropriate option, you could use a keypad for doing that. Or equally, if you like to dial numbers using the keypad, you can actually dial it from that particular keypad there when it's shown and open. I personally prefer to have that closed because it gives you more visibility of the function keys. Now on the right hand side here, you can sort of see this is your active call pane. So this shows you the calls that are actually active at this moment in time. So if I, for example, make a call in, you'll see a call comes in, I can answer that call. It shows me here, that is the call that I have got active currently. So if I'm just going to minimize this across and then open up my colleague here, and this is my colleague Jan. So imagine this is one user here, which is me, Steve Button, as you can see. I've got a call on here, and maybe I want to transfer it through to my colleague Jan. Now, Jan already has visibility that I'm on a call there, as you can sort of see from Jan's busy lamp key for me. Now, if I wanted to transfer this call from me to Jan, I've got a number of options. I can click on the hold button there, put the call on hold, and then I could dial the number directly. However, the far easier way of doing it is that if I want to transfer this call through to Jan, I can just look at my busy lamp key here. I see that Jan is free and available to take a call. So if I just click and drag that call across, put it onto the arrow, you can see it transfers the call across. Jan sees it's transferred from me, exactly who it is, and can answer that call. Okay, so that's one way of doing a transfer. It's what we would call a blind transfer because I didn't announce it. I just sent it across to Jan. So if Jan was maybe talking to John here, John Sutton, who's on the phone, and decides that maybe wants to get me involved, back involved in that conversation, what Jan can do then is Jan can have a look, see I'm still available because I've got the green button there. And all that Jan has to do is go to the function key, double click on it, it automatically puts the call on hold, and then the call comes across to me. I can answer the call, we can have a conversation, and all the time the original caller is on hold and listen to hold music. Now it can either be a default hold music or it can be a custom hold music that has been uploaded into the system. You have the options. Okay, now we have a conversation here. I say to Jan, yes, let's talk to John, but let's all get involved in that conversation. All Jan has to do is go to the call that's on hold, click, drag it up. Now, if we put it onto the arrow, it will transfer it through to me. But if we put it onto the three-party conference there, it means everyone is on the call and we're all talking together. So you've got the ability there to have a three-party conference, a nice, easy way of doing that. Now, the other option that we have for the system is that you probably won't want to have these windows open all the time. So normally the window will be shut and you'll be working on a document. Now, if a call comes in, I can press call. If a call comes in, as you can sort of see here, a little toaster will pop up, telling you who it is and allowing you to answer the call. Once you've answered the call, you can deal with that call, and then if you want, you can clear the call down. If you want to do something like transfer or something of that sort of nature, you can just click on the hold button there. It will now open up the application so you get full access to all your BLF keys and everything else, so you'll be able to handle that call appropriately. Okay, so that's the little what we call toaster that pops up. So you don't have to have this open on your screen all the time. You can have it sort of like hidden away in the background there. Now, one other thing that we've got on the system is the ability that if I make an internal call, so remember this is Jan's extension here, and this is my extension here, if I make a quick call to Jan, just by pressing double click on the feature key, it makes a call across. I can now answer that call. We're having a conversation. I have got the ability here to be able to just click on the little camera symbol, and that will turn my video camera on. All right. Equally, Jan could turn his camera on as well, and so we could have a two-way video conference. But we've also got the ability here to open up the screen share as well, so I could actually share my screens. So what this means is that when you're making a call, and especially if you're making a call to a mobile device, you can open up the camera on the mobile device and screen share to that mobile device as well. So not only is it internally between PCs, but also to mobile devices, you can actually make it into a video call. Okay, so that's what we've got as far as calls are concerned as standard. We have got, as Kevin mentioned to you, and I did sort of show you before, the ability to connect into CRMs. So I could choose to actually link into my HubSpot here, and you can sort of see that the calls come in. I've chosen to pop the HubSpot screen for John Sutton here because I've got that connection into HubSpot. So, and down here you can see that it does also log all the calls that have been made recently for this particular person via the system as well. Okay, so we have got that linkage into other CRMs such as HubSpot. Now, if I go down here and I click on the CRM Connect and open it up, as I said to you previously, we can have a number of different CRMs we can link into, like Outlook, Google Contacts, which come as standard. If you have our CRM Connect Plus, you can get Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, and you can also have all these other CRMs linked into your system as well. And as I say, and there are in excess of 300 CRMs that we have access to. Okay, and with the CRM Connect Plus, it's a slight uplift on the license, but once you have that uplift, you get access to all 300 of those CRMs if you so wish. So yeah, for example, here you can see I've got access to HubSpot, Salesforce, and Zoho. Okay, so we have got that linkage. You can dial from within that CRM as well if you want to. So you've got click to dial from within the CRM. So there's a number of ways that you can use that integration with the CRM. Not only to give it a screen pop and an incoming call and the ability to dial from it, but also you can log calls within there as well. Now, if I go down the sidebar here, you'll see that I explained to you what the phone option was. I've also got the ability here to go into the history, and it will show me the history of calls that I've made, received, and potentially missed. I can filter that down through the filter here. So if I maybe had gone to lunch and when I come back, I want to see if I've missed any calls, I can go to the filter, go to missed calls, and you can see here I had a missed call from Jonathan Perry. I can go on here, find the details, and I can indeed bring that person back from here as well. So you've got a call history that you can set up there. We've also got the ability to have voicemails, and apologies for this, my voicemails are currently empty, so I've got no voicemails on there. I'll just see if Jan's got any voicemails we can show you. Fortunately not. But as I say, you can access your voicemails from the system as well. But we've got one other added feature that we can add on, which is that when someone leaves you a voicemail, we can link it into your email. So if I open up my emails here, you'll see that with the emails, someone leaves me a voicemail, it will send me an email here. It will tell me who it's from and the fact that it came to me. So if I click on here, I can get the details. There's the caller. It came through to me. I can see on here, it's left me a WAV file. So I can click on that and listen to that voicemail. It makes it really easy to share voicemails using this method, because obviously I've had an email. If, for instance, Kevin or Ben needed to hear this voicemail, I can just forward the email through to Kevin and Ben. They would get the attachment, they would be able to hear the voicemail. So the ability to share voicemail is very easy utilizing the voicemail to email function within the system. But again, it's one of those things that's comes as standard, but it's an option. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. And it can be activated on a per user basis as well. So it's not something that everybody has to have it or nobody. It's done on a user by user basis. Okay, so that's the calls and the voicemails under the history there. We've also got the contact list here. As I said before, we can set up a general phone book so that you can have external numbers in there and everyone can access that. But you've also got the ability to set up your own private contacts as well. Simply enough, just by clicking on the plus, you can put in a name and a telephone number, press save, and you've got a personal contact that no one else will be able to see on there. Okay, and these contacts, once you've built them in here, you can use them to do the dial by name feature. We've also got the ability for conferencing on the system. So the conference is a voice conference bridge where you can have up to 50 people dial in and actually all be on that voice conference. Now you can allocate an external number, so external people can dial into it, and you can also have an internal number, so internal people can dial into it as well. So that's a voice conference bridge. All you would need to do is dial in, use the participant PIN, you'd be on the voice conference bridge. Once the host dials in with the host PIN, then it opens up the conference bridge and everyone can talk to themselves. Can be quite useful if you've got a situation where maybe not everyone's got the ability to do video conferencing, so they can access just by dialing into the voice conference bridge. Okay. One other thing we've got on the system is our meet and share functionality. Now, meet and share, very much like a Zoom meeting, where you can plan a meeting. So you can set up a date in advance for the meeting. You can have an extension built into Outlook, so you can actually plan a meeting through Outlook. And what would happen there is you can start a video conferencing meeting. And that video conferencing meeting can have up to 25 people on it. It's full featured where you've got your emojis. You can actually sort of screen share. You can mute. You can turn video on and off. And indeed, you can have external people join the meeting, because all you need to do is give them the link and that they paste that into their browser, and then they can join as a guest. Okay, so we have got meet and share. We've also got the ability to send and receive faxes on the system as well, so we can create what we call a virtual fax machine. And what that would do is that here's an example of all the incoming faxes. So the fax would come in to the specified number and it will be saved as an email attachment to a specified email address. Okay, you've also got the ability to send faxes as well. Now, to send a fax, you just type in the recipient's number there and drag and drop the document you want to fax up into the box here. So we have got the ability to have faxes incorporated into the system if you so wish. A few extra little features we've got on here as well as I go down. And so we've obviously got user features here where you can, if you like, modify the system to do exactly what you want, which is like if you want to have call waiting indications. So when you're on a call, if another call comes in, it will give you a bleep, so you can put the first call on hold and then answer the second call. You can have call waiting indication if you want. And there's other things here where maybe you want to have not only your phone but someone else's phone ring at the same time when a call comes into you. You can activate that. So you've got various things that you can set up here. The call forwarding, as I said to you before, that's where you can change your different or make your different profiles on the system. We've got queues on the system as well. Now, what a queue is as I showed you right at the very beginning on the administration portal, a queue is a group of people that are put in, and when a call comes in on a particular line, it will ring those people. Now, with a queue, you have got the ability by clicking on the plus here to join another queue by clicking on, in this case, say reception Sussex, and maybe the reception Sussex was busy. I've now joined myself onto that particular queue to offload some of the workload. I can take myself out of it just by clicking on the button there. So that's a queue. We have got skills groups as well, which you can't actually join ad hoc like this, and we can mix and match between the two as well. So it's just a case of working out what works best for your company and the configuration you want, and we will set the system up accordingly. Okay, the function keys, as I said before, is where you can program the function keys up. The fax decides which fax machine on the system you're going to be using. The CRM Connect, as already said, shows you the other CRMs we can go through to, and we can put in some shortcut numbers there as well, so that if there's certain features you want to do, you can use the shortcut to actually do that. So again, exception incoming call, I can answer it by just pressing Control or A on my keypad and answer that call. Okay. The last thing we've got here is the downloads, and as I said before, it's valid for both Windows and Mac. So it doesn't matter if you're a PC house or a Mac house, the system will work. Okay, so hopefully that's sort of like giving you an insight into what you can do with the system and how it works. If you've got any questions at all, please feel free to put it into the Q&A, and we will answer those shortly. That's me done. Kevin, Ben.
Brilliant. Thanks, Steve. If anybody does have any questions, in the bottom of the control panel on your Zoom, you should see a Q&A option. It's got two double bubbles. It actually sits next to the chat, but if you have any questions, if you put them in the Q&A, we can capture them and respond accordingly.
Yeah. Thanks for that demo, Steve. That was really, really useful.
I think the main takeaway from the system, though, is its flexibility. If as I said, I always like to tell people, it's a case of the system is designed to give you the user the option to work wherever you want to work with the device that's most appropriate to you. So whether it be a physical handset, a soft phone, or an app on your mobile, you've got those options available to you. So it's totally up to you. And with the licensing that comes out, every extension number has the ability to have up to 9 devices associated with it. So you could have your phone in the office, which you normally use when you work at home. Maybe you want to use your laptop, and the laptop will be using exactly the same extension number as your office number. You don't have to do a transfer or anything like that. It just automatically is the same device. And whenever you make a call out, it automatically sends the same details out to line, regardless of the device you're using.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have a question. So the question is, how future-proof is the dialer compared to, say, Teams dialer? I'm assuming that means Microsoft Teams dialer. So I guess that's where Steve's shown the integration and the click to dial. So all I can say on that is the actual application for the click to dial is something that we've had on our product for a number of years. Prior to the soft phone, we had a product called NCTI, which supported the dialer on a physical device, and it's always our intention to keep that feature on the platform. It's a core feature of ours, and it is probably one of our USPs as well against a lot of our competition, that we can offer that integration into third-party applications and support that dialer option. I trust that answers your question okay?
I think the other thing as well that's probably worth pointing out is, as you alluded to earlier, Kevin, that NFON owned the product, as in Cloudya, and we've got our own R&D team based down in Portugal. So it's a constantly evolving product. So it's not static by any means. It's not something we've bought in and we're now sort of selling. We're constantly evolving, we're constantly updating and trying to keep it, ahead of the curve there and ahead of the competition. So we're not relying on anyone else to, for us to be able to move it forward and make changes to the system.
And in addition to that, if there's an application that we come across that we haven't linked into before, we do have the option then to review that particular application and do any necessary work to link into that CRM database. That's purely done on a case-by-case basis, but that's how our list has grown to over 300 different applications.
Okay, then if there's no more questions, I think we'll call it a day there. I'm going to be going and contacting everybody that's attended anyway separately. I'll give you all a call tomorrow just to see what your thoughts were on the product. If you want to speak to me quicker than that, feel free to contact me. I hope everyone got something out of that. Thanks, Kevin, Steve.
Yeah, I would also like to offer, if anybody wants a more detailed overview on the product or any of the applications that I touched on earlier, then yeah, please feel free to reach out to Ben, and we can arrange that for you, no problem at all.
Yeah, of course. Okay then. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you next time.
Brilliant. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Cheers now. Bye.